I once had a visit from two women in the community, Donna Karl and Barb Handel, and they came and visited me one day and said, Tim, we have a project we want to do. I said, we're at the point in our lives that we want to just take some time and dedicate ourselves to this. And I said, oh, okay, great. He said, you know, the city doesn't have a municipal swimming pool, or aquatic center as we'd call it today, but there was one, the White Sands, which was privately owned and city owned. And so they said, we want to do fundraising, we want to, you know, build the support for it and so forth. I said, well, do you have 5 years? And I said, well, that's what it takes. You know, if you look at the ice arena, other projects that preceded it, and the volunteers that were involved in those types of projects, by the time you create the vision, lay out the practical part, then you have to go into the community and build support and working with the city government. But there was that element of community leadership that wasn't necessarily city officials. And you know, they said, let's go do it. We're going to take this on.
They were probably two of the primary drivers at that time. And my wife and I were very active working with them. And I can recall going to city council meetings and talking to different committees about it. And I can't say that we were getting a cold shoulder on it, but at the time, there wasn't a lot of comfort on the city side spending money for an aquatic center. And we kept going, we kept, you know, doing little fundraisers and trying to get as many people involved in it, and the group started growing and there was becoming more and more interest. And we finally got the city council at a meeting to basically say, and I think at the time it was maybe their way to try to just brush us off, and they basically said, why don't you guys go out, and if you can raise $500,000, we'll talk. So we spent the next 2 years raising money big time. I mean, we parked cars at, you know, at events, whether it was down at the parks for the fireworks or for, you name it. If there was an opportunity for us as a group to make money for us, we did it.
We were fortunate. We had Paul Panansky, the Park and Recreation Director, who was an aquatics person by his background, as well as Tim Murray, who had an engineering background in aquatics. So there was, like I said, a lot of support from the mayor and city council and other people.
There was this group that got together, wanted to build an ice arena, right? So, well, with my background, guess what? Guess who was the city's appointed person on the ice arena? Yeah, I was, and great. My background in aquatic centers, when we finally got to the point where we're going to build one, you know, and again, another, just like the ice arena, another community-based effort, you know, the pool partners and all that, got it going, really got the community support behind it.
I can recall being very frustrated because it's like, why does everything take so long? Why can't these decisions be made quicker? Why do we have to wait another month for another meeting, you know? And the more I kept showing up at city council meetings, the more I kept, you know, working with the committees, the more involved I kind of felt myself getting drawn into it. And it was, I believe it was in 2000 that I ran for city council. And, you know, in a way it was still to make sure that the aquatic center, that was my, quote, my agenda, you know, I guess if I had an agenda, that was it at the time, but I really enjoyed it. I got on city council and I truly got involved. I've always been one that if I'm going to get involved, I'm going to jump into the deep end. I'm not going to just, you know, tippy-toe around. And I ended up being on city council for 8 years. And for what it's worth, I've only been in the pool twice with our grandkids. But, and you know, I say that because I can remember when we were out promoting it, way back when, well, you just want this for your family. You know, trust me, I don't want it for my family as much as I want it for the, future families and your kids' families, you know.